In this tutorial, we're actually not going to be creating anything. I wanted to go over the randomizer logic in Little Big Planet 3. There's a small bug, and it's actually in Little Big Planet 2 also, with a randomizer. The randomizer is actually good at kind of creating a random sequence. The problem is the pattern or sequence it comes up with is not random the next time you load the level. So every single time you load the level and the randomizer is already in the level, the pattern's already been chosen, and it's the exact same pattern over and over and over again. First, let me show you how it works now, and then I'll show you how we can fix it. Here on my level, I have 4 sticker panels, 1, 2, 3, and 4. A little switch here, and a circuit board. In our circuit board, I'm going to go ahead and place a randomizer. I'm also going to place a selector. Going to wire up our selector to our stickers. So the first one goes to number 1, second one number 2, third one good old number 3, and fourth one number 4. Number 1 is already lit because the selector already turns the first selection on by default. You can just go to properties if you want and change that, but let's go ahead and leave it 1 there. Go ahead and plug in the randomizer to our selectors. And you can already see it working in the background there. It is randomizing. Problem is, if I went to play mode, it'd be the exact same numbers over and over again. So let me go ahead and show you what I mean there. Take out preview mode here. I'm going to wire our switch here so we can turn this thing on and off. I'll wire that to our randomizer. Let's go ahead and look at a couple properties before we go to play mode of the randomizer. First one is your pattern, and that basically says, for example, I can change this to add, where it will not repeat the numbers over and over again. For example, if I didn't have this to add, I could go to 1, 3, 3, 3, 2, 4. With add, it will not repeat the numbers until the cycle is complete. That's where this add and reset when full comes in. I'm going to go ahead and just leave it 1 at a time. That's fine for me. The other option here is new pick each time, no or yes. You would think if I choose this yes, it would pick a new pattern each time, and that's not exactly what's going to happen. You'll see. I'm going to go ahead and leave it to yes to show you this does nothing to fix the bug. I'm also going to adjust the minimum on time to 2 seconds just to slow down the randomizer so I can should help me memorize these numbers that are about to come up. Alright, let's go to play mode and test this theory out. Alright, we're starting with the number 1. Go ahead and flip the switch. 1, 3, 1, 3. Alright, let's go ahead and do a replay. Alright, starting with 1 again. Flip the switch. 1, 3, 1, 3. Exact same pattern. Alright, let's go back to replay 1 more time. This time I'm going to try to guess the pattern. I think it's going to be a 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. 1, 3, 1, 3, 1. All right. It likes 1 and 3. This is where that add option would be best, so it wouldn't hit 1 and 3 so many times. But it is random. It's just the pattern is not random. Every time I go to replay right now, I get the exact same pattern. And it's the same pattern for the next 1,000 or so numbers. I mean, I don't know how long it goes. I haven't sat there and timed it, but you can see here, exact same pattern. So let me show you how to fix that and what's happening. Now you probably want to do this, let's say you have a card game or blackjack game like that, you want to shuffle the cards up. You want the deal to be different every time you load your level, or a roulette game, or what's the one you pull the handle, the slot machines. You want those to be random. What's happening here is when the level is loading, it loads the randomizer into memory. The amount of time it takes to load that randomizer into memory is when the pattern gets set. So before you even get into the game, it's already declared what pattern is here. And since the amount of time it takes to load the level and then load the randomizer never changes, the pattern's always the exact same every single time. So what we got to do here is randomize when we load the randomizer into memory. That's the tricky part. What is random in our logic? There's not a single component that's actually a true random event. The only thing that comes close, and it's truly not random either sometimes, is the sack boy himself, the player. For example, when I spawn right here and I make my way over to this switch, that could be considered random, meaning some players may dawdle a little bit and may stay over here and then go to the switch, and it took them about 3 seconds to get over there. Other players will spawn immediately and run to the switch and flip it. Where others may jump in between. But the amount of time it takes to get to the switch is probably more random than anything, because every player plays a little bit differently. We're talking in microseconds here, milliseconds maybe. I don't know exactly how the game in the background runs as far as its timing goes. But fractions of a second are occurring by the time I get to here to here. Now, the amount of time it takes me to get to here to way over here is greater, and there's more distance between to cause the random event to be truly random. May not make sense yet, but let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and fix this logic. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to delete my randomizer. I'm going to add 4 remote tag sensors. I'm going to go ahead and wire these 4 remote sensors to our selector. 1 to 1, 2 to 2. I'm going to go ahead and give each one of these tag sensors a different label. The top one, I'm going to label it, probably makes sense to label that 1 since it's plugged into 1. Next one will be 2. Three, and good old 4. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and fly up here just a little bit, and let's do some holographic material or sticker, doesn't really matter. Just want something I can put back here that won't show in the player level. I'll adjust the brightness down to 0 so it won't show up. And let's put a circuit board. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to wire my randomizer logic up wirelessly. I know that's kind of an oxymoron there. Wirelessly wire up my logic. It'll make sense here in just a second. Let's go ahead and put down a randomizer. And I'm going to put down 4 different tags. Go ahead and wire our randomizer up to those tags. And let's go ahead and give each one tag a different label. We'll use the 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's what we're programming here. So the second one goes to 2. Third one goes to 3. And fourth one, number 4. And as you can see here, it's working like it did earlier. Just happens to be wirelessly wired. I'm going to figure a new term out for that. But you can see it's working its magic right there. Because what we're going to do here is we're actually going to emit this at a random time, which will cause a random pattern to occur. Before I do that, let me just finish a couple of things up. When I flip the switch, I want to turn on the randomizer. But I need to make this wireless also because we're about to emit this entire thing right here. So I'm going to go ahead and place another tag down, but I'm going to place it down here, something that already exists in my level. I'm going to wire the switch up to that tag, and let's give this tag a label. And I'll I'll go ahead and just refer to this as on. Alright, done with that. Let's go back up to here. Now I'm going to create a remote tag sensor. I want to make sure it's also using the label on, and I program that to the randomizer. So we haven't really changed anything here. All we've done here is made kind of a wireless logic separated for our randomizer. We go back to play mode just to show you that the exact same bug still happens right now. We haven't fixed it. Alright, we're going to start at number 2. So 2, 4, 3, 1. Now the only reason we have a different pattern this time is because we did a bunch of stuff in create mode, and sometimes you come back to play mode, it will be random. But 4, 3, 2, 1 was our sequence. I'll go back to replay. Oh, sorry, I got that wrong. It was 2, 4, 3, 1. Go back to replay one more time. Two, 4, 3, 1. Alright, so still have not fixed the problem. So here's how we're going to resolve this problem. If I can bring this object into the game at a random time, it should resolve the problem. So like I said earlier, I'm going to use the Sackboy as our randomizer. So I'm going to place down a player sensor. Let's go ahead and just place it like right here. I'm going to change the trigger angle range to, let's say, 180 degrees. Let's go ahead and spin that around a little bit so we get kind of straight up and down. Let's go ahead and increase the size. And make sure I'm detecting all 16 layers. So remember again, this player detector only becomes true as soon as I cross that line. And what we're hoping there's a random amount of time for when I load here to when I run over here. Alright, we're going to go ahead and capture this this chip here in this holographic piece. Now here's a weird thing. When you try to capture an object of yours, if it's invisible in play mode, it'll be invisible in your My Object. So it's good to go ahead and hit the square here and rename this to something. I'm going to call it just Rand for now. That way when you're like, what in the world is this invisible object? You can see the title, it says Rand right there. Good habit. Alright, let's go ahead and delete that. We're not going to need that right now. We're going to spawn it in when the player gets to right here. Let's grab an emitter. Let's go ahead and wire our player detector up to the on-off of the emitter. Go into the emitter properties. We're going to emit that object we captured. It doesn't matter where you put it in your level, it could be out of the way. We're using those remote tag sensors, and those detect anywhere inside your level, so you're good there. A couple of properties to change. Frequency, I want to move it all the way down to 0. I want it to spawn immediately when that player gets there. Lifetime, I'm going to set it to infinity. We only want to do this one time. Once it's spawned, we're good. We're random at that point. And you can leave everything else the same. Max emitted at once, and put that to 1. Destroy oldest when max emitted, no. Alright, should be good to go there. Alright, let's go ahead and go back to play mode and see if that resolved our problem. Alright, now remember, as soon as I cross this area here, we've spawned that holographic material, and our wireless wired up randomizer logic. So we're starting at 2, 2, 4, 2, 1. Alright, go back to replay. Two, 4, 1, 2. So 2, 3. 3 is being chosen quite a bit. Back to 1. Alright. It was definitely random. Let's try it again. 2, 4, 1, 3. Perfect. It is random every single time. Now there's a gotcha though. It's only random because the amount of time it takes me to get to here to right here changes ever so slightly. Meaning some players may jump to get to here, some players may just, you know, dance and wave at the screen for 2 minutes and then get to here. But if it takes the exact same amount of time to get to here, your pattern's not going to change. Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. Replay once more. And I'm just going to run it straight as I can to the right. Boom. Alright, now I'm going to hit the switch. So 2, 4, 2, 1. 2, 4, 2, 1. I'm going to replay again. Do the same thing. I'm holding down right. As soon as we get in this level, I'm going to hit the switch again. 2, 4, 2, 1. You can see our pattern is exactly the same because the amount of time it took me to get to here was exactly the same. So this is not a really good idea to have a short distance. I would have your randomizer spawn later on in your level. Make sure the player has to go do some stuff, you know, jump over some things, grab some things, enter a door, something that's going to be different every single time they play the game. They're not going to do the exact same movements in the exact same time sequence every single time. So let's go back to create mode and just do a wrap up real quick. So what we learned here is the randomizer pattern, if the randomizer is already in the level, is not truly random. We've created a object. Bring that object back out here. We're using some tags and remote tag sensors to wirelessly plug in to what we want to randomize. I'm just using sticker panels here. You're going to have a roulette wheel, blackjack table, slot machine, whatever you want to be truly random, a roll of dice, things like that. We just configured what we did with wires in a wireless manner. That way we can emit this object here at a random time. And remember, our random time, we're using Sackboy as our randomizer. So from the amount of time he spawns in till he gets somewhere in your level will be our random time, hopefully. And that's pretty much it, how to randomize a randomizer. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, because this is kind of a tricky concept, let me know in the comments and I'll help answer those. Thank you.